One day, my brother friend, they bring the man come. The man tell me saying they carry people go travel. Say between 1 month, I don't make her. And I go even the same money come for my family. And I tell her, say, okay, if my family give you permission to carry me go, then I go follow you. The man come tell me, say, okay. The next year, he come follow me go my dad house. As I reach my dad house, he tell my dad, say, true, he go carry me go Italy. Then my dad ask her, which kind of work you won't go use me do for that side? He tell me, say, na boutique. Now I want to go to work with white man. Then my dad tell me, say, okay, no problem. And so he talk. My pikin, you agree. With that happiness, I just tell my dad, say, yes, I'll go.
Simply, we can look at human trafficking as the illegal movement of a person from one place to another for unwholesome practice for exploitation. So it's a very simple definition that we can now look at and say, why is it that we're having it? We're having it because the end result is exploitation.
In human trafficking, we have 2 types, the internal and external. The internal has to do within Nigeria, but when it comes to external, is across the shores of Nigeria. And for the crime of human trafficking to be committed, there must be 3 elements that are involved: the act, the means, and the purpose. Under the act, there is act of recruitment, transportation, harbor, purchase of that individual. Under the means, we have deception as a means. We have coercion as a means. We have debt bondage as a means. Then the final element is the purpose, which is exploitation.
According to a UNESCO report, human trafficking is the 3rd most common crime in Nigeria after drug trafficking and economic fraud. Estimates released by the Global Slavery Index in July 2018 indicate that there are 40.3 million victims of modern slavery worldwide. 71% of whom are women and girls, and 25% of which are children.
Came to our compound, met my mother. I was not telling my mom about outside country, that her wife is there, she's doing nanny food, she's cooking for the white people, that he would like me to go and stay with her over there. I will make much money. In like 2 months or so, I will come back and get some things, build house for my mother.
In 2016, Nigerians accounted for about 21% of the total 181,000 migrants arriving into Italy through the Mediterranean Sea. United Nations International Organization for Migration, IOM, further reports that as of December 2020, there were approximately 570,000 migrants in Libya, of which Nigerians represented approximately 6%. Between July 2003 and December 2019, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued a total of 14,688 victims of human trafficking. Nigeria remains a source, transit, and destination country when it comes to human trafficking.
On the journey of Sahara Desert, had its own side of story. Yeah, on that very night, there was a place we were kept. We were left there telling us that they are coming back, that they are going to bring more passengers. We wait and wait to no avail, and there was no food for us to feed on. It gets to a point as that evening we started digging ground just for us to get access to water. Finally, they now came back with the vehicle, which is the Niger people. We are now apologizing that we shouldn't worry, that we're still going to move that particular evening. We left Agadez to Sahara Desert. When we were in Sahara Desert, we faced a lot of challenges. We drove to somewhere that we were kept for 4 days. Sometimes there was a time we get exhausted of water. There was no water, no food. We were just there. So some even have to urinate just for them to have a taste of something in their tongue.
For a crime of human trafficking to be committed, there are enablers or influencers who knowingly or unknowingly assisted the traffickers to get the victims trafficked. One of which are parents and guardians of the victims. The Cambridge Dictionary defines a parent as a mother or father of a person, or someone who looks after a person in the same way that a parent does. Parents, by this definition, are supposed to be the child's first role model, as children are known to behave, react, and imitate same as their parents.
And some of these enablers will not even push away the parents and guardians of these persons. Some of them are the ones that will go and seek some of all these issues. And some of the parents are the ones that will even be putting pressure on their children to comply with some of these agreements.
The rational question would then be, why would a parent contribute to his or her ward being trafficked?
Some of them knew where they were going to. They knew why they were going. Their parents had lured them to go. Didn't you see, oh, our neighbor, the daughter went, and in less than how many years, she has built a house. She has bought the parents' cars. What are you still doing? Some of them knew that. Some of them innocently did not know why they were being trafficked. They are just innocent victims. Interacting with them, they told us the stories. And some would tell you it's hardship, poverty. And I can say to them, I was raised in this town. Yes, there is hardship. Yes, there is poverty. Our parents were poor. But there was nothing like that in the past.
The roles of parents are guided in encouraging or promoting human trafficking include neglect. You know, when I say neglect, I mean they leave these children to themselves most of the time. And it's not always the fault of the parents. They have to pursue daily bread. And when parents take up, let's even look at people who are in paid employment. They take up employment that they're supposed to close 4, 5 p.m. And in a normal society, they'll be home with their children by half an hour later. But due to bad roads, due to a lot of decaying infrastructures, they spend 4 quality hours on the road getting home. So by the time they get home, children are already exposed to people who are grooming them. And these are the people that the children see more often, because those hours that the parents spend at home are usually not waking hours. They come in late, eat, sleep. What did you do in school today? Even from asking, she's already sleeping off. And then very early in the morning before the child gets up, she's on her way or she's just hurrying the children get ready for school. But those hours, those active hours, the children are exposed to people who start grooming them. So that's in one way that that parents encouraging trafficking.
Okay, parents serve as enabler to human trafficking because of one word I will use, greed. They want their children to become their friends' children, in as much as they are getting better, they are having money, they are traveling abroad, they want their own children to be able to satisfy and meet their needs also. With that, they push their children to become better. Like most parents use the word, can't you see Osaro's children? Can't you see Ivie's children? They are buying cars for their mother, they are building houses for their mother. What are you doing? And with that, and one thing I notice about youth is that they don't like to be compared, because they want to, they have the strength at that age, and they want to go out, they want to push and become better. They want to be able to take care of their parents' need. Like I was opportunity to listen to a child who said that at the age of, I think at the age of 10, said, I want to buy a car for my mom. So that child is already thinking of how to make money, how to satisfy or meet their parents' need. So with that, parents tend to put their children out with such words.
Parents can also contribute to a child being trafficked by some of the pressure they put on these children. First of all, include their expectations from maybe someone is the eldest of a family. You're supposed to be doing this. We've sent you to school. You're a graduate. You can't do this for us. You can't do this for us. Maybe a parent is sick, a child is sick, they've lost a loved one from poverty or sickness, no money for hospital care. And being in this kind of environment where you don't get anything for free, medical care, nothing is provided by the government, you have to pay for everything. For example, this child is under a lot of pressure from their parents to provide some basic needs for the family. At the end of the day, you see these persons, they want to make money at all costs. Anyhow, they'll tell you anyway in a way. They want to just go out there, as long as it will bring money, they will just do it.
Also, ignorantly sometimes, or selfishly, some parents believe that, okay, I've had this, my daughter, I've had this, my son, it's time to enjoy their benefits. You go out there and hustle. So when people come and say, I want to take him to Libya, to Canada, to everywhere to work, she's just thinking about the dollars. Sometimes they don't even know the people well. But even the people you know, we've had instances of uncles, direct junior brothers of mothers, taking our children away, trafficking them for prostitution. So I say yes, neglect, then insensitivity, because sometimes they are not really sensitive to what is happening to those children. Then using the children, some parents even knowingly give up their children for prostitution. They know that that is what she's going there to do. And they say she's going to do it just for some time and come back. After all, it's not here in Nigeria. Nobody knows what she's doing. She's going to come back and get married and then go on with her life. So those are some of the examples.
Some of our parents belong to these social clubs to be able to promote their social status in the society. You know, social clubs like ladies blah blah blah, blah blah blah, you know, clubs where they measure, they go there to show ego, to show status. And when you don't meet up to that status, you fall back to your children to push them to move, to go and do what these other person's children in your club have done to make it. Some of them even link up, they even network, they collaborate in this art. Let's say someone who had enabled the child to be trafficked succeeds, then that one can talk to a mother who does not have, who wants to promote her social status, can talk to that person's mother to assist her to also come and carry her own child, so that they will equally be tying Hollandis, Gobo and Rapper together in the club, you know, wear gold, pierce their ears with big ornaments, you understand, gold. So this is a problem. And again, some of them deliberately too relegate their responsibilities to their children. They quite know that they have failed in their responsibility, and they give their children wrong orientation on ways at which they can make money. They aid and abet their children to be involved in this trafficking stuff. So,
parents by nature are caring, sacrificial, and protective of their words, and would not ordinarily act in a way that hurts them. And when there are slip-ups, the consequences are shared, hence the need to admonish parents to be wary of actions that could put their word in harm's way, such as illegal migration.
It gets to a point that even people just get fed up. I'll call some of my friends. I'll tell them, guys, I need to leave this place. So even when I call my elder brother, I say, just look for a means and leave that place. Come down to Nigeria. Nobody is going to get mad at you. So whenever I relate that issue with those my people that are there, I'll say, as in that your brother no just want me better for you. You're already here. Upon all the stress, you still want to go back. With what? So I was there, believing that, one day it will get to my tongue.
I could write a whole book on this. Families should protect their children and not lead them into all this. The greed from parents are the things driving these children. A girl told us how the mother had told her, at your age now, don't you see how this other one has built a house for her parents? What are you doing here? When are you going to lift us out of this poverty? Is it the responsibility of a child to lift a family out of poverty? I think the family should train the child first. When the child is empowered in life, nobody will tell her or him to know that she has to lift the family up if she has the opportunity. So many of these girls that are trafficked are pushed into it by their families.
There was a time I felt sick. Like, the sickness is called Shibani, it's like stroke. I cannot walk, my hands cannot move. I noticed it was because of the ill-loss we wear, because we normally put our legs outside. Your bumble will be inside. The blood was not flowing away. And getting to this place now, we cannot go out. It's just a small place, just a small room. The only thing you can do is go to the kitchen, cook, eat, bedroom, come back and lie down. That is just the only thing. There was a day that my cousin brother was like saying, what kind of sickness? You are not even sick, you are pretending. So the following week, he felt the same thing.
Remember that we are not campaigning people not to travel, but we are campaigning that if you want to travel, you travel in a very dignified manner. So by the time you are informed about the dangers of human trafficking and forced migration, it also has a long way to, it plays a very big role in changing the mindsets and attitude of people towards that.
So my own advice to children is that this country is still going to be better. They should stay back. Even if we want to go out, we are not debarring anybody. They should follow the normal way and get normal documentation before they go out. They should not go on a regular journey because of their life. They will be killed on the road. So many things, they are suffering themselves. But if you don't have money, people can still help out. But they should know where they are going and what they are going to do there before they leave this country.
Cool. We don't want them to feel guilty. Some of them can go, they can take their lives. But we talk positively into their lives, trying to get them to realize that there is better life back home, that they can even do much, much better. I even give myself as an example. I tell them, I went to school overseas. I worked there for many years. But see me, I'm back home. I love it back home. And they say, why did you come back? I said, families. When you're with your family members, there's nothing. It's so priceless.
I know the situation in the country is very bad. But then, we don't all have to go abroad seeking for it. Recently, about a week ago or two, we heard that about 230 these migrants died on Mediterranean Sea. In January, we heard about 74. In December, about 94. I mean, every so often, we are losing people. Are we going to continue like this? So I will tell our youth, please, no matter the pressure, they should not be lured to undergo this dangerous journey and venture that may end up their lives. Again, too, I will expect that government should also invest on structures that will employ people or these acquisition centers to help people acquire one trade or the other. Where you cannot get government job, at least you can get your own income. You can generate your own income with the skills if it's available.
I'm also using this opportunity to appeal to parents. Communication is very key. Always talk to your children. Make yourself accessible. Don't let them be scared of you. You have to be your children's confidence. And children, even young people, young adults, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And when we say human trafficking, it is not always only labor. It is not always only prostitution. There is organ harvesting now. Some people, when they get trafficked, against their own will, they harvest their organs for sale. Some, they can just take one kidney and leave the person with one. That person is lucky. Some, they kill outright and harvest all the organs. So please, there is nothing rosy outside there. Any migration, any traveling that you have to do hush-hush, that they have to tell you, don't let anybody know, it's a red flag. Please, don't go.
If anybody is telling you, oh, it's 50-50, it's a lie. It's 95-5. And that 5 is you are going to survive it. The other 95 is you are not going to make it. See, I believe now I'm now a better person than what I used to be. Because my returning back to Nigeria has really helped me a lot. Because I actually learned photography before I left Nigeria, but me coming back, looking at the environment and the kind of job I used to do then, I find out that going into fashion was just the best thing for me. Now, I'm proud to tell you that I'm a fashion designer and I'm making out something from it. I have a family, I have a wife, I have a daughter. And presently my wife is even pregnant. Less than 3 months, she's going to put to bed. I was able to gather all the experience in Libya, put together, and the works I had now to be able to move on. And I've gone to so many schools sensitizing people against the danger involving human trafficking and irregular migration.
I'd like to make a personal plea to parents. Get involved in the lives of your children. Get to know them. Make them your friends. Then the usual mindset that you can only be better when you go abroad, we are passing this on to our children. Tell them to be proud of being Nigerians, to look inwards, to explore the ideas in their heads, listen to these ideas. They might just become greater than whatever they will be abroad. And then to the society, we all have a role to play. Don't leave it all to government. I have a role to play. You have a role to play. Stop human trafficking. It is your duty and it is to our benefit.